Good morning, students. So, today we will be taking lesson number 3, elements, compounds and mixtures. So, very first we are going to learn about the elements. Boys, what do you mean by an element? An element is a pure substance that cannot be split into simpler substances by any chemical means. That is, a substance which cannot be divided further or which cannot be decomposed or broken down into further simpler substances, that is said to be an element. For example, carbon, hydrogen, right? These are the elements. Boys, after that we will learn the term that is symbols. What do you mean by symbols? An element, it is always represented by a symbol. An element is represented by one letter or two letter symbol. Now what do you mean by one letter symbol? One letter symbol means, for example, element hydrogen. What is the symbol of element hydrogen? It is H. What is the symbol of an element carbon? It is C. Now we will learn about the two letter symbol. We will learn about the two letter symbol. So what is two letter symbol? Two letter symbols were introduced so as to distinguish between those elements whose names start with the same letter of the alphabet, right? Now for this, let us take an example of an element hydrogen. Hydrogen, its symbol is H and it begins with the alphabet H, right? Similarly, we have another element that is a helium. Helium also begins with H, but H symbol has been already given to the hydrogen. So we cannot write H for the helium. So what is the method now? Another method that we will take the H and the next alphabet. So we will take the symbol of helium as a HE. H should be capital and E should be the small. Now students, some symbols are from the Latin name. They are being derived from the Latin name of the element. Latin name of the element. Okay. So for example, carbon. What is the symbol of carbon? It is C. What is the symbol of calcium? It is Ca. Because already C is being given. This element, it also begins with the C. So what is the method of writing the symbol? That is, we will take the first alphabet C and the second alphabet A. So students, while writing the symbol, the first alphabet should be capital and second alphabet should be a small. Then now we take a copper. Now boys, what is the first alphabet of copper? C. And what is the second alphabet of the copper? O. But we are taking it as a Cu. Why? Why? Because this Cu, it is being named, the symbol has been taken from its Latin name, that is a cuprum. Right? Now again we are having a cobalt, Co. So what is the symbol of cobalt? C and O. So only some of the elements, they have some of the symbols, they are being derived from the Latin name of the elements. Now next we will learn about the compounds. What do you mean by compound? A compound, it is a pure substance that can be split. That can be split into simpler substances by the chemical means but not by any physical means like filtration, sublimation or distillation. Now students, we are going to learn that a compound, it is formed by the combination of two or more elements. For example, water. Water, it is a compound which is made up of by the combination of hydrogen and oxygen. Sulfur dioxide, it is a compound which is formed by the combination of sulfur and oxygen. Then we can take another example, that is a carbon dioxide which is formed by the combination of carbon and oxygen. Okay. Now we will learn about the important characteristics of the compound. Now boys, a compound, it can be broken down into simpler substances only by chemical means but not by the physical means. For example, water, it cannot be split into hydrogen and oxygen by any of the physical means, but it can be broken down by the chemical means, that is by the process of electrolysis. Now this process of electrolysis I will make you explain in my next video, students. Next property is what? The properties of the compound are totally different from those of the constituting elements. Constituting elements means the elements of which the compound, it is being made up of. For example, water. Water is a compound. So water, it is made up of from hydrogen and oxygen, right? Now hydrogen, it is, now what are the properties? Now we are going to learn. The hydrogen, it is a combustible gas. It reacts with the oxygen, which is a supporter of combustion, and it forms a compound which is a water, and water is neither combustible nor supporter of combustion. So the properties of the compound is entirely different from the metal elements forming the water. Now, number third, elements, they combine in a fixed proportion of atoms to form a compound. For example, hydrogen always combines with oxygen in the atomic ratio 2:1 to form a water, and carbon combines with the oxygen in atomic ratio 1:2 to form a compound carbon dioxide. Next, number 4, a compound contains the constituent elements in a fixed proportion of mass. Right, very first it was that elements combine in a fixed proportion of atoms to form a compound. Number 4, it is saying that a compound contains the constituent elements in a fixed proportion of mass to form a compound. So for example, 1 gram of hydrogen, it reacts with 8 grams of oxygen to form 9 gram of water. So thus what will be the mass ratio? The mass ratio of hydrogen and oxygen in water will always be 1:8. Right. So another example, 3 grams of carbon reacts with 8 grams of oxygen to form 11 gram of carbon dioxide. So what will be the mass ratio of carbon and oxygen in carbon dioxide? It will be 3:8. Right. Now students, we will learn that compounds are represented by formulae. Now, what is a formula? Compounds are represented by formulae, and what is a formula? The formula of a compound indicates that how many atoms of which element have combined to form a molecule of a compound. Got it? So thus the formula of water, that is H2O. What it is representing? It indicates that 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen combine to form a molecule of a water. Another example, carbon dioxide, what it shows? That it is made up of 1 atom of carbon and 2 atoms of oxygen to form 1 molecule of carbon dioxide. Is that clear to you, everyone? Now students, we will learn about the electrolysis of water. A splitting of a compound into simpler substances, this is actually the heading of the topic in this. Now we know that a compound, it can be broken down into the simpler substances only by the chemical means, not by any physical means. So the electrolysis of water, it is what? It is a chemical decomposition which is being brought about by passing an electric current through a liquid or a solution. Boys, pure water, it is actually a bad conductor of electricity, and it does not allow any electric current to pass through it. But when we are going to add a small amount of acid, say HCl or sulfuric acid, it will turn into a acidulated water and becomes a good conductor of electricity. Now when an electric current is passed through an acidulated water, right, then what will happen? The water decomposes to give hydrogen at the cathode, which is a negative terminal, and oxygen at the anode, which is a positive terminal. So this is termed as electrolysis of water. So what is electrolysis of water? It is a chemical decomposition of water which is by passing the electric current through it. Fine. Now what is the difference between the electrolysis of water and thermal decomposition? Electrolytic decomposition or the thermal decomposition? Boys, in electrolysis means electrolytic. So electrolytic decomposition means where the substance is broken down by passing an electric current. The next topic we are learning, that is a thermal decomposition. Thermal means what? Heat. That is a decomposition of a compound by using a heat. Okay. So Now we will be learning that difference between electrolysis, electrolytic decomposition or thermal decomposition. Boys, what is electrolysis or electrolytic decomposition? It is a decomposition of a compound or a substance by passing an electricity. And what is thermal decomposition? It is a decomposition of a substance into simpler substances by the action of heat. For example, chalk. Chalk is what? It is a calcium carbonate which contains the calcium, carbon and oxygen, and on being heated it gives calcium oxide and carbon dioxide, right? So both the products are simpler than the calcium carbonate, and so the latter is a compound. So boys, in this video I have explained to you the elements, the symbols, compound, the representation of compound by the formulas, and the important characteristics of the compound, and then the two processes, that is electrolysis, electrolytic decomposition, and the thermal decomposition. So in my next video I will be explaining you regarding the mixtures. So till the time, go through the chapter. If there's any doubt, please do ask me. Okay, and thank you.